Hey, Kool-Aid Krew, what is crack-a-lackin'? Somebody give me a 5 for 5, and we will roll right on to it. You know what I'm screaming, baby? Yeah, buckle up. We're getting ready to take off. That's what Miss says. It's right there, guys. Check it out. Anyway, guys, yeah. So, what we're going to talk about today, guys, we've got some eruptions still happening on the sun. Okay, this is SDO, picture from the satellite. I show you guys this often. But yeah, they're over here, a lot of them. Plus, we got this one over here. We've had some filament eruptions, and then we got this big coronal hole. But uh, we don't really have any like massive parts of CMEs headed this direction right now, which could change in just 2 seconds. But as of right now, we don't have any massive CME coming our direction. But this is Soho. This is another satellite from our perspective. This is just showing you some more of those eruptions right there. And this sunspot that just turned away over here, okay, it's turned away from the Earth now, but that is in what we call the danger zone. So when we get CMEs over there, it crosses our magnetic connection line to the sun. If it crosses it in any substantial way, it'll pick up all those protons and it will actually draw it backwards towards us. And that's how we measure radiation storms. So that's what, that concern there. Now, it takes a really big radiation storm to really affect us in some big ways. But, yeah. So, also, guys, listen. Dr. Tony Phillips, I've been saying this past week at least. This guy just hits it out of the park every time. I have nothing but respect for somebody that is really this much on top of it. But if you notice because I changed the title a few times, so I was kind of kicking it around, but I landed on, the sun's getting farmers lost, literally. And I'll go over what that means here in just a minute. And I knew that this was happening because I got some local farmers here that I'm really good friends with. And we'll go over that here in just a second. But their equipment's literally getting lost, and it is because of the sun. Um, so let's get into this right here. Now, also, atmospheric radiation is plummeting. Now, we're going to go over this a little bit in detail also. This is not what you really... It takes a lot of explanation, is what I'm going to say. And I'm going to go through it, but it's not as complicated as what it might sound. But it does sound kind of counterintuitive that we're in solar maximum, but yet our radiation is dropping. It's at a 10-year low. And what a lot of people don't know, Dr. Phillips over here at spaceweather.com sends up these weather balloons all the time. And it's going up high in the atmosphere, and it's taking data. It's collecting data. And that's where they're getting these readings from. But we'll go a little bit more in detail what matters there and what is really nothing to be too concerned about. But, so we'll just kind of hop into it. And before I get moving any further here, also, I'm going to be doing a members-only stream right after this. Okay? Sorry about yesterday, guys. I hurt my foot, and I hurt it bad. Over some stupid... Anyway, I'm not even going to get into details, but I heard it, and so I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. That's why I wasn't here yesterday. It's... I can't even walk across the floor without putting my shoe on. Yeah. So we'll just kind of graze over that. There's a lot of more people around right now, guys, that are going through a lot more serious things than poor Wages World's foot. Okay, so I don't want that. I don't want the attention on me for that at all. So let's just give all that stuff to people that need it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let's just back up and start here. This is NOAA's Space Weather Prediction Center. And also, guys, I will say this too. Guys, please, send love and good thoughts and prayers and all that, all the above, to people out there dealing with that cyclone bomb. It is a mess. I think it was the last number I seen actually came from Miss. She put it in a text for me. It was about 600,000 people without power. That's a lot. Okay, I can't even express enough of how significant that number actually is. It's a massive number. That's a lot of people. And I know that we get power outages all the time. I get it, but this is something different. Okay, it most certainly is something different. And so again, guys, I'll just leave it at that. But Miss was showing me. I think it was Miss with the snow and stuff. Lots of snow with this too. Yeah. So, and I've got snow coming my way in central Indiana. It might even be starting here shortly. Jammer, he was talking about where he lives. They've got some snow. Trinity was saying lots of wind. We're under a wind advisory right now, also where I live. We're not talking about like blizzard or anything like that where I'm at. And we're only talking like 2 or 3 inches of snow where I'm at too. So it's not some big huge snowstorm where I am at. But it's still snow. It's still it's weather. But so yeah, keep good thoughts and prayers for people out west right now. It's all the way through the Midwest. Even it's going to travel right along. We've had these cyclone bombs multiple times, but this is a pretty decent one, guys. It doesn't always knock out 600,000 people without power. It takes a significant event to do that. As a matter of fact, I could probably pull up, I'm not going to, but power outage, you guys can Google all that if you want. It's easy to find nowadays, guys. It truly is. So, but anyway, as you notice here, guys, the flaring did slow down some. Okay? And that's what I'll say with that. It's not a whole lot of flaring. Why? What's going on now, right? I was just talking about a hyperactive sun 2 days ago. Well, guys, this is one of those things where I used to say it all the time. The sun can do what it wants, when it wants, and how it wants to do it. And we can't control any of it. Right? So we just got to watch it. That's what we do. We're watching the sun. So if you pay attention even to this is extreme ultraviolet, right? This filters out all light frequency except for the 131 angstrom. Okay, all other light has been filtered out of this image. So it looks at specific gases depending on what angstrom you're looking at, right? And I went over this a lot, so I'm not going to go over it in detail now as far as what that all is. But we get to see different visuals. This one here, I use this one a lot because we do see the flaring awful, really, really good on this. It's very photogenic with that one, with this angstrom. But the other bonus here is we can actually see some of the plasma leave the sun if it does with this angstrom of light also. Now we're going to take a look at the 304 here in a minute too. It's ionized helium, and we get to see plasma ripping off really good. That's the one we look at for CMEs. Like if we know something's happened big, we can go over there and look at it, and it's usually, it's right in your face. But this one right here, look at that. That is a significantly powerful eruption. When you see it blast off, I got this image slowed down, guys. You see how slow it's moving? So when you see something like that over here, when I've got this set at a slow rate, for the slideshow, and it still leaves the screen that quick, that's moving fast. Okay, so but again, this is over here in the strike zone. I don't think this one actually crossed our connection line, or it just didn't have the right magnetics to really affect us in that way, because if it did, within about 20 minutes to an hour, the proton flux would jump. You would see it almost immediately. Okay? Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'm going to watch this. We'll come back and look at this again here at the end of the stream. But if you look right there, you see how it's almost yellow? They only put the yellow there when it's doing something. See up here? It looks like it's got one little data point here with the yellow. So we'll check back in with that. And see, it might be. We might be having some sort of a radiation storm getting ready to hit. I don't know. We're gonna take a look at that. But that's just how we look at it. How we measure it. That's the data we use to say, hey, we're in a radiation storm. It's the proton flux. Okay. So let me just again keep moving. And again, guys, please share this out. This is, I don't always go live at this exact time, which I'm pretty close. And I'm not sure if Marsh is going live tonight. I kind of doubt it, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't want to claim that yet. Somebody else might know. But with him having all the issues, yesterday he did a short little video. Yeah, and his lights were off. So anyway, let's geomagnetic activity is what we look at for geomagnetic storming, and we measure that with the KP index, right? That's just the index we use. As you can see, nothing much going on. Okay, that's actually kind of perfect. We want it to hang around between 1 and 3, maybe even 4 sometimes, just somewhere in that range. It helps block cosmic rays. Okay, and we're going to talk about that today because this is something that's in my title, right? I didn't put the word cosmic ray in there, but that's going to be part of the conversation here in just a minute. But as you can see here, guys, when we got this kind of geomagnetic activity hanging around, it blocks some of that, the cosmic ray stuff. Okay, and again, we'll go over some of that here in just a few minutes. Yeah, so there's not much right here to show you. This isn't something, it's not like in your face type of stuff that's happening, massive eruptions. But I will say, I want to point out, if you come over here and you look at LASCO C3, this is just a zoomed out version of this. Okay, it's from the same satellite. And if I show you where the satellite's at, it's right out in front of Earth, right here. It's 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. And it's always looking at the sun, and it always stays out in front of Earth. It orbits the sun in roughly 365 days, just like we do. But it's 1 million miles closer to the sun. So technically, it's moving slower than what we are. Just a little bit. Because it doesn't have to move as fast because it's not going as far, right? So if you take our orbital line and stretch it out, and you take SOHO's orbital line and stretch it out, its line's going to be shorter. Okay? So, and I know you guys understand that, but that does kind of help people kind of rationalize what I'm saying here. So I hope I explained that good enough. Oh, but so yeah, now we're gonna pop back here a few days here too. Look guys, look. I don't even have to say it. It's just the sun is continually erupting right now. And this is what we expect to see in solar maximum, which is where we're at. This is the 19th. And I'm just going to, run through this a little bit here. And then here's the 20th. Right? Now, as you can see, again, this is where most of the activity is right now. And that's that sunspot that just rotated off. So, you take that for what it's worth, guys. Yeah. Now, again, remember, this is an occulter disk. This is a physical disk on the imager. So we look for signatures that start showing up all the way around at the same time. That's called a halo signature. I beat that to death all the time. It's like kicking a dead horse sometimes. I feel like it. But I will say that. I will always explain that because it's important to know if anybody's new is here, they won't understand what I'm talking about unless I explain that. So we call it a halo eruption because we can't see what's behind this because that's a real disk on the sun. It blocks the main part of the sunlight so the imager can even get and do its job and even get an image without being overexposed and flooded with light. Okay? It would just be a white blur if this wasn't there. Okay, now this is the surface of the sun, this white circle here. So it's actually covering up a lot of the glow from the corona. So when we see this and we see a halo, if it pops around all the way, we don't know if it's going off the backside or if it's coming right at us. So we have to go look at a different satellite, right? So where do we go nowadays? We go here. It's just that simple. We don't have stereo A really to go look at anymore because it used to be 90 degrees and we got a really good side view of the sun and a partial backside view. It's now hanging out close to Earth. It's outlived its lifespan, but it's still operational, and I'm going to show you some stuff from it today, actually. But anyway, let's change the angstrom on this one. Let's look at the 211, because you'll be able to see the coronal hole here really well. Come on. All right, there we go, finally. So this shows up in purple. This is not a purple angstrom of light. The 211 is not necessarily purple. They assign it a color, okay? Believe it or not, color is kind of from a certain point of view, right? A dog will see purple in a different way than what we do. So you can't really, you know, drag that into the conversation. They only do different colors so you know it's a different angstrom. That's the only reason why they do it. And it helps us get a better contrast too. But this coronal hole we connected to, and it's sending highly charged particles at us now. Now, will it get us up into geomagnetic storm level? I don't know. Have to wait and see. It'll be here in about 3 days. It travels at about 3 to 500 kilometers per second. Okay? 400 kilometers per second is roughly 1 million miles per hour. Okay? So you can do simple math in your head just like that. But notice right here what we didn't see on the 131. Watch right here. Watch my cursor. Did you see that little shadow? I'll show it to you again. See that? You know what that was? That's a little sun burp. Okay? Believe it or not, that little thing right there can put you into geomagnetic storming if it comes right at us and if it left the sun. I can't really tell you if it did or not. It doesn't look very visually impressive, and you might not even be able to see it if you're looking from a phone. But what I'm going to tell you right now is that those are what we call stealth solar storms. It's storms that nobody sees coming, and we just get smacked with them. And the reason why we didn't see it is because that occulter disk I pointed out here, and the fact that the sun itself is the background right here when stuff fires off right here in the middle, right? So when we're looking at that, we have to take that into consideration. Now, if it fires off over here, which tendency would be to go left or right of Earth if we see them over here, but they're more photogenic. We get to see them better because the darkness of space is actually the background. It gives it a very high contrasted view there, and we're able to see it really well. Okay, but as you can tell, this is a filament here. That's a filament too. Why is that black? That's not a hole in the sun. It's a hole in the atmosphere. The surface of the sun is colder than the atmosphere, so colder things show up as black or darker colors on the extreme ultraviolet here. Okay. Hey, Deep Quake, thank you. Thank you for the gift of membership. I'm doing a members only right after this, and I'll mention that again a couple times throughout the live stream here. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you, man. For real. You guys are just, yeah, you guys are just so awesome. I can't even say it enough. Hey, Alyssa, good to see you. Kathy, aloha, girl. All right. So, and guys, something else too. Sometimes I miss things in like the comment sections and stuff like that. But sometimes my moderators and things will help me out there and answer it. Don't be afraid to answer somebody's question. If they got a question, you know the answer to it. Okay? I think somebody was asking for my email. If you guys want to know my email, all you got to do is go to the About section of my page. But it's bluecool52@gmail.com. That's my email. So, anyway. Now, so let's take a look at the 304 here, because I think it's important to see that one right now because we want to see if it's going to, you know, if we're going to get any kind of CME action. But yeah, so we'll let that load up here. There it goes, and went actually loaded up pretty fast, actually. Now, see what I mean about the darkness of space? Gives you a really good look, and how this looks so much different than the 211. Look at this. Look, you didn't see all this over there. Look how tall that is, guys. These are magnetic filaments also. They're basically ropes of magnetism laying there in the corona. Now, right there on the end, right here, at the end of this run, I'm going to show you this because, check it out. Right there. You see that? I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But that filament there is becoming unstable. Matter of fact, it erupted a little bit there. Now, did it go completely off? I don't know. Why am I talking about this one when you see these bigger ones all over the place, right? Well, because this one's right in front of us right now. So if this thing lets loose, it's going to come our way. That's what I'm talking about. So just know that. Hey, Planet Hermit. Thank you again for the gifted memberships, guys. You guys are killing it. Love you guys. 100%. 100%. You guys are awesome. There, here we go there. Oh, Peggy, thank you. Gifted membership, thank you. So cool. So cool. Thank you, Peggy. Appreciate it. That is one of the coolest names. Mushy Woosby. Mushy Wooshy. Yep. Love it. Let me go back here and see if I can't find Planet Hermit's. He must have did that earlier. Did you do that earlier and I missed it? Huh? You must have, man. I'm sorry if I missed it. But thank you so much, as always. Seriously. And thank you guys. You guys are just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Deep man, dude, what is up with that? What are you doing to me, man? You're killing it, man. You're awesome, bud. For real. And just know that you guys don't have to do that, okay? For real. Not kidding. You don't have to do any of that. So, please know that. I just want you guys, I don't want you guys to feel like you have to do that, even though you do it all the time. You know, I just don't want you guys to feel like that. But thank you so much. I really, truly do appreciate it. Deep quick get the 5 in the hizzy. Peggy, thank you, and everybody else. Okay, anyway. While I'm getting this stuff ready, guys, why don't you guys go ahead and give me a roll call in there. And let me get over here and start talking about this while you guys do that. But just to kind of wrap this up, we don't have any big eruptions coming to Earth right now. Now, we do have these other active areas. Again, the sun can do what it wants, when it wants, and how it wants to do it. I mean, it really truly can, guys. I've seen sunspots pop up within 30 minutes and blow a high M-class flare with a big CME with it. I've seen that happen. So, just because it ain't there right this second, don't mean something ain't going to be there in 30 minutes. I promise. So, you know, and always keep in mind that the equatorial region of the sun, it actually rotates faster than the pole regions. And that's why we see the sunspots take a linear movement horizontally. Okay? They're always in a line horizontally. Northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And the sunspots have reverse polarity in each hemisphere. Okay? That's how we know when the sun cycle restarts with the polarity flip. Because that polarity flip, that polarity orientation in those sunspots will reverse roughly about every 11 years. Because the sun does a magnetic pole reversal. That's the sun cycle. Okay? So, that's how and they do now wait months, sometimes 6 months, before they go back and tell you, hey, now we're in solar max and it started 6 months ago. Or, hey, the new sun cycle started 4 months ago. That kind of thing, right? Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Good to see you. 150-year worst drought. Oh, wow. Yeah, that sucks. I hate droughts. I really truly do. I hate that. It makes all the trees and the grass just looks brown and everything. Anyway, look, this is what I'm talking about. Look at this. That is a significant amount of plasma shooting up there. Now, that was back earlier the day on the 19th, okay? So let me do, yeah. Now, guys, you see that shake? That can be caused from a lot of different things. That is not a calibration roll of the satellite. That satellite was influenced by something. Most likely, space weather hit it, okay? That's what happens a lot when you see that little shake. It's very, very, very brief, and it's not, you know, it's not going to sit there and it's not going to be like way off either. Now, oftentimes, and how you can prove this to yourself is be over here looking at this. You'll see this do this, and usually within about 24 hours, they'll give this satellite a calibration roll. They'll recalibrate it. It's got to find its home again. Because if we know where the home is, then we know how much we're moving it or adjusting it from that position. If we never calibrated these things, we wouldn't know what direction we're looking at. So that's why they do that. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. So, and I missed that again. Hey, J-Poss. Genius by Burst in the hizzy. Hey, Deep Quake, thanks again, brother, for another 5 memberships. Wow, you're killing it, man. Thank you. You guys rock. Hey, and like I said, guys, anybody who's getting these memberships, we're doing a live stream, a members-only live stream right after this. I'm serious. Within like 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to start a live stream up. I've already got it ready. And we're going to laugh. I got some funny stuff to show you tonight. Some crazy chiropractic stuff and some Zoom court. It's some funny stuff. Hey, YSG, Gabriel, what's happening? Kevin, you, what's up? Guys, I'm sorry I missed that roll call. Can you guys do that again for me, please? I'm sorry. I got concentrated on this. I try not to concentrate too much on the chat because I squirrel all over the place. It used to be really bad. Ask anybody in here, they'll tell you. All right. So, guys, when I said that the sun is literally getting farmers lost, what did that mean? Right here, Dr. Tony Phillips, spaceweather.com. Please go over here and read this. Look what he's talking about here. Now, I'm not just going to say what he says here either, okay? He's actually wanting to talk to people that this is actually affecting. So what's going on is, in case people don't know and they haven't drawn this line together yet, which a lot of people haven't, because why would they, right? And what I'm talking about is, farmers now, most of their equipment is ran by GPS. And I know it sounds crazy to people sometimes, but they can literally, well, I got a friend, well, he's no longer with us. I hate to, his wife was my boss for years, but it's at a pig farm, but they also harvested everything. They planted, did crops and stuff too. But even back then, like 10 years ago, he would sit in his tractor, push a button, and the tractor did everything on its own. Now, I know a lot of you guys already know this too, right? So it knows where to go. It knows the geographical layout. It knows where it's at, right? And it does that by GPS. Now, what's this saying? This year, strong geomagnetic storms, where do those come from? The sun, have wreaked havoc on the GPS-guided agricultural equipment. So, this is a real issue for farmers, guys. So, and I'm bringing this up because people ask me all the time, how does this even affect me? How does this affect us and all that? Without going straight to the grid down situation. This is just another thing that it's affecting now. Okay? They've seen a direct correlation. And I can tell you for certain, in my own life, I've talked to people. And obviously I can't just like bring them on, hey, all this stuff. I'm not going to do that. But you know, believe me or not, but again, they're saying the same thing. The local farmers here where I live have been saying this. So this is what's causing it. Geomagnetic storms are messing with the GPS. So what's that mean? Well, if it's harvest time and that tractor don't know where to go, what's it going to do? It's just going to sit there. Deep quake, brother. What are you doing, man? Wow, man. Woo! Love it. Guys telling thanks. Look at that. Deep quake, you are the bomb. You're part of that, what we going to say, that cyclone bomb from out there. Wow, guys. Man, that's humbling, man. Really, seriously. Thank you. Thank you, man. So appreciated. But yeah, guys, please tell anybody who's gifting memberships, you know, anybody that's just a member, you know, I can't tell you how much it humbles me to see people do that stuff, to listen to what I have to say. It just really, truly does. None of that is ever expected, but let me tell you something. It is so appreciated, and it warms my heart. It really, truly does. To think that people that I've never even shake their hand or put a hug on them or anything like that would do that for somebody that they've never physically even met. It tells the story of who you are. And it also tells the story of who I am, because you guys, that's an obvious show that you guys care about me. But just know you don't have to do that to show me you care. I'm not saying that. So that might have came out a little wrong, but I just want you guys to know, you know, I appreciate all of you guys. Anybody, you know, getting single memberships, it's the same thing. But yeah, I know, Anna. Good to see you, by the way. But yeah, no, it's wow, yeah. But you know that, yeah, gifting to specific people, that, oh man, I wish we could, but also glad we can't, because sometimes that could cause problems. Especially if a channel owner just giving somebody something specific, then you're like picking somebody out and people get upset and all that kind of stuff. But if it's just the people in the chat gifting to each other, I don't see why they can't do that, but, you know, whatever. But thank you guys. You guys are awesome. My wife says thanks too. I mean, it's just, yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Man. You guys just, man. I don't even know what to say. Okay, so back to this. Now, let's talk about the atmospheric radiation. Alright? So I've already talked about the GPS guided stuff. The sun's literally getting farmers lost. Seriously, that's what it's doing. The equipment gets lost. It doesn't know where it's at. Just like I was talking about this satellite. This one. It has to know where home is to go. Deep quake, what are you doing? Wow, bro. Killing it. Peggy with another 5. What are you guys doing in there? Wow. You guys are awesome. Wow. So cool. Thank you guys. Man. I just don't even know what to say. Literally, I'm at a loss here, guys. Thank you. Tell them thanks, guys. Whoever's getting those, tell them thanks. I mean, that's real stuff, guys. Back this off. What'd I do here? Okay, there we go. Anyway, okay. So, as I'm looking at this, we're at a 10-year low in radiation. It's plummeting. How do we know this? He sends balloons up, and he has been, and it takes readings in different parts of our atmosphere. Okay? So, with that being said, says the sharp decline is shown in a data set of more than 300 altitude balloons over California from 2015 to 2024. This is his project, guys. This is what he does. He sends these balloons up and he gets this data and they analyze it. But I'm not going to read this verbatim because I want you guys to come listen to what he has to say about this. Okay, the radiation from the sun is different than cosmic rays. Okay, because in solar minimum, we get concerned a little bit about cosmic rays. It's a different kind of radiation. We can talk about how radiation, goes through our atmosphere. What's it all do? What's it all say? But like I said earlier, guys, he even says it right here. At first glance, it's counterintuitive, right? You would think during solar max we'd have a whole lot of radiation. But what's happening here is exactly what I said earlier. This right here, geomagnetic activity. We have to have some. And if we're at the proper level, the atmosphere will absorb it. The atmosphere will just be a lot more protected from the radiation from cosmic rays. Right? So you guys understand that? There's two different kinds of radiation. And he goes into a little bit of detail over here, and I don't want to go too much into detail because I really truly do want you guys to come give him some traffic. Okay? He just does such a great job. He explains to you right here, when galactic cosmic rays hit the top of Earth's atmosphere, they create a spray of secondary cosmic rays. These things hit and they split. Neurons and muons is two of the things we talk about. And one of them is really, really bad, can get you sick. Okay? But as of right now, this is good for people that fly a lot. It's because the radiation's at a 10-year low. I mean, it's crazy. Now, when I say 10 years, I'm using that full 10 years like Dr. Tony Phillips is saying here. And the reason I'm using that is because that does cover a full sun cycle almost. So it's got solar maximum and solar minimum in it. It's got a full sun cycle right there. That's important to know. We're not just looking at solar max and we're not just looking at solar minimum. We're looking at 10 years as a whole. And that's how you can say, hey, yeah, that's a legit thing. A 10-year low. And the reason why is because of extra geomagnetic activity. It says galactic cosmic rays are decreasing because of solar maximum. Right there. Okay? And I'm not going to go into detail any further than that. I would really love for you guys to come over here and really show him some love. And again, like I said before, guys, I don't know Dr. Tony Phillips. I just think he does a wonderful job with this webpage. So please come over here, click on these hyperlinks. Now you see how he's got this animation here? And you can see that that's one cosmic ray. And when it hits, see what it does? It cascades down like that. It splits. It splits it. So, yeah. Now, where do those come from? Right? Where do these cosmic rays come from? They come from supernovas and other violent events in the they fill the Milky Way with high energetic particles called galactic cosmic rays. He's calling them subatomic cannonballs. Okay, they can penetrate the walls of spacecrafts. In other words, these things are very dangerous for astronauts. I think it's the neon. I can't remember exactly which part of that, but it actually will go right through your body and go right through the center of the Earth and out the other side. There was one of those particles that does that, and I can't remember which one it actually is. But come over here and read this if you would, and just. Yeah, show him some love. You know what I'm saying? But man, isn't that crazy though? I mean, does anyone else think that that's just kind of a nut thing, man? I mean, just wow. I just, yeah. It's just so cool to me, those kinds of things. Now, radiation from the sun. Hey, Angel's Wings, member for 6 months. Hey, we love you back, girl. We love you back. 100% we love you back. Love you back. But it can interact in several ways, right? So I'm reading something here, and it says some of the radiation is absorbed by the atmosphere, okay, heating it up. Other parts of the radiation are scattered by molecules and particles in the air, which is why the sky appears blue. Did you guys know that? I knew that. I just didn't know if I needed to tell people that, but some people might not know that. So it says radiation from the sun. This is radiation from the sun, not cosmic rays. Okay? Enters the Earth's atmosphere and can interact in several ways. Some of the radiation is absorbed by the atmosphere, heating it up. Other parts of the radiation are scattered by molecules and particles in the air, which is why the sky appears blue. Okay? It's deflecting light in certain ways, and it's making the sky appear blue. It says a significant portion of the radiation reaches Earth's surface, where it is absorbed by land and water, contributing to warming the planet. It helps. The sun helps keep us warm. Imagine that. It says some of the absorbed radiation is then readmitted, check this out guys, as infrared radiation, which can be trapped by all the gases in our atmosphere and all that, helping to regulate Earth's temperature. So that's how the sun's radiation works in our atmosphere. Okay? And cosmic rays already explained to you a little bit how that happens. You know, we can go over the cosmic ray thing a little bit more in detail in a different show if you want me to. But I tend to say some of that stuff for around solar minimum through those types of time frames that we go through, because we have more time to talk about it. That's the only reason why. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Hey, Stephen A., good to see you. Hey, Ilea. Good to see you, sister. All right, so I'm just kind of going through here to make sure I didn't miss anything. Hey, Kool-aid Krew, what is crack-a-lackin'? Hold on. Somebody give me a 5. Y'all hear that? Had some guy named Wedge's World giving me a little bit of an echo there. That I had this live stream pulled up on a different tab because I have to run the live chat from that so I can see it while I'm live streaming. Anyway, you guys, let's just back off with stuff. But I don't think I have much more to show you guys today, guys. And again, this is stereo A. I'm not even going to bother showing you this because it's really not that impressive. So, again, like I said, that's what's happening. If we get anything else happening, I do anticipate things to start getting more active because this area of the sun is rotating in. All right? And please give people prayers and thoughts out there, especially out west where everybody ain't got no power. That really sucks. And it's actually really dangerous, especially when it's cold. And don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people out there are pretty much ready for those kinds of things because they lived through that, right? That's just what they do. It's like us here in the Midwest. I live in Indiana, so, you know, we hear a tornado warning. We don't typically get scared over stuff like that. We react. You know what I mean? It's just because it's everyday life for us. It'd be like taking me and sitting me in the middle of California somewhere and having an earthquake. Yeah. Uh-huh. We'd have us a little yellow river going down my leg and down the street. But, you know, that's just what it is, because I've never been, well, I felt an earthquake here where I live twice, but it was so insignificantly small. I barely felt both of them. I remember seeing the keys on the wall shake a little bit from our key by the back door. That happened once. I remember that. But it wasn't no big deals, but you know. There you go. Alright, guys. But anybody who got a gifted membership, I'm getting ready to start up a members only stream. Okay? It's already out there. Hey, D-Quick with another 5 memberships. Wow, guys. So when we get over here, what you're going to find out, we're going to laugh. Okay? We need to laugh. Just look around. That's all I got to say. I'm not going to go into any detail, any of that, because I try not to talk about the world in general when it comes to what's going on around us. We all know what's going on around us, right? The political environment, the war environment, all that stuff. I don't talk about that because I think we all need a break from it sometimes. I have my own opinions, just like everybody else. But Adam and Dex do a great job over on Marfugal. So when they're live, I suggest everybody go watch them. 100%. You're not a member? What? What? We can fix that. Maybe. I'm just kidding. We can fix that. Anyway, you know that girl. All right. So, let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. I'm going to post the members only. I'm going to start it right up, okay? That way we can get people here. So if you guys want to share it out and all that, please do. Anybody that's a member. Guys, if you're a member, please turn on your notification bells and click all, okay? That way you know, because I don't give too much warning on a members only stream. I'm trying to narrow it down. I have been for months, and I just can't seem to land anywhere. My life is just so here, there, and everywhere. But we're going to laugh tonight, guys, okay? All right? So, with that being said, hey, Ilea, do you have Zoom? If you got, I know you got Zoom, I think. Anyway, text me. Okay? Anyway, let's do this. All right, guys? God bless. Yahusha saves, and I'll see you at the members only here in just a minute. All right? God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.